That's today. Morning, Miguel. How you doing? Okay. That was quick. Okay. There we go. Yesterday, the stream crashed, and I just kept working on stuff. So, I broke a bunch. Looking to fix a bunch today, but I made some progress. Turns out the archive server needs the page size. Add a bunch of those. Is that there? What are we here? Hit plain. In this case, this needs to be self.state. What object is this? All files? All files should have it. Does it not have it? Oh, it doesn't. All files. Nope. So we're creating a new wall log. Another path. Well, it should be able to get it from this, from the header. I don't need to pass it in. So we have wall log state here. That's a no-no. Wall log state has page size. Akira. Can I tell you about the project? Yes. And welcome. Happy Friday. So, our goal is to build my wife a website. Okay. Think of it like I want it to be self-managed. So think Squarespace. What's some of the other ones? Um, WordPress, that sort of thing. Right? But we need to be able to host it inexpensively, and it needs to be globally available. Have all sorts of goodies. So I decided to build a system in order to build her a website. So this new system, framework, platform, whatever we want to call it, starts with a proxy. So when traffic comes in, the proxy directs the traffic to the readers or the writers. When a mutation comes in, mutation hits the application, being, our content management system. A change then is made to SQLite because hosting on the cheap, right? And it's pretty performant. Change then goes into the SQLite database, but not before being seen by our plugin. So we take the change, notify data plane about it. Data plane finds the change on disk and sends it off to our data archive system down at the bottom here. Data archive sends it to our streaming and long-term storage, in which it would, hop the fence if it were, jump the shark. I don't know, too early. send it to the data archive, and the data archive would send it to the other data plane on the readers, which would then append the data to the wall logs and the other machines, and they would be able to, see the data. The goal is to have this done quickly, be able to support many, many, many mutations per second, like 1,000, 10,000, whatever. Is this a different one from the SQLite replication in Rust? No, this is SQLite replication in Rust. SQLite replication in Rust is the foundation of the project. So if we were to highlight all the pieces that the SQLite replication in Rust pieces, well, except for this cluster management piece. And we are in the process of sending the data from data plane to data archive. So I've made some rough changes over here in data archive that had some kind of widespread impact, which I'm cleaning up at the moment. So this should already have, so when we create a wall log, it has the page size because it pulls it off the header. Good. Ah, you think Terso is finally rewriting SQLite and Rust as well? I saw that. I saw that. I don't know. So of all the projects, I don't know that that's actually needed. I mean, it's definitely very neat. I think there's other reasons to have a SQLite competitor, right? But I don't think making it in Rust is the best reason. I do support the whole rewriting Rust movement, but I have a use case for it. It's easier to support more features. Hmm, I could see that. SQLite isn't actually that big. Fully backwards compatible? That would be interesting. Starting with the SQLite spec. Wow, there's a SQLite spec. There's documentation, but I, having gone through it a lot for this project, I I wouldn't call it a spec. Oh man, if you have a link to that, I'd love to see it. Is it the file specification or the behavior? There's so much. I think that specifies the port, I guess. Yeah, I mean, their source code is kind of the canonical definition of everything SQLite. It's really well documented. So, but their docs, goodness, I wouldn't call their docs a spec. I've had to go back and look in their source code because things weren't clear. And Kuvimon, how are you? Happy Friday. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, welcome. So, I'm just going to give the explanation of what we're doing here today again. So, watch your eyes. This guy here. Okay, this tool is called MonoDraw. For whatever reason, MonoDraw can't have a dark theme for this section, but it's a pretty cool tool, and I like it. We are building our new system, platform, whatever. And the goal of this is to build my wife a website. But in the process of that, I was going to use LightFS on Fly.io, but I saw that it had some limitations, so I thought, why not just, you know, rebuild LightFS without the limitations. Bigorley, welcome. Happy Friday. So instead of using a fuse-based file system, we are, well, if you don't know what LightFS is, it's basically a system that allows you to um, make changes to a SQLite database on one location, and the changes appear on another location. Locations being machines or directories, whatever you want. So I decided I would do the same thing, but basically build it in Rust with the emphasis on mutation performance. Okay. So instead of like SQLite making a change to the database in LightFS making two changes to disk, we only make one change to disk. Okay. So we did choose a different set of trade-offs. We are building our system using a SQLite plugin called a VFS, Virtual File System. We have a proxy, we have kind of a archive system that fans out the changes to the rest of the system. You know what I forgot? Give Kuvimon a shout out. So our system is going to probably be able to do an order of magnitude or two more than LightFS could do. And we've built most of this. I'd say the system's at about 70 to 80%. We still have some changes that need to be done on the right side where a mutation happens. Right now, it just makes the change to the database files itself instead of appending to a wall log. On the left side, we are in the process of taking the changes from dataplane, because dataplane will be notified that a change has been happened by the VFS. Dataplane takes that change, sends it over to the data archive, the mutation side, not the replication side. So we are currently on trying to get this side wired up. Now, I did just make a couple of changes to a proto file, and those are being a little annoying because I have to go back and fix a number of issues. Okay, this no longer like that. Wall logs, need that. That's gone. Context, yes, some of the tests broke. It is my fault. We'll come back to the tests. Okay, let's check some of this. Yeah, no, that one's fine. I'm looking for some of the other pieces. Oh, the shard, and this is in data plane. Our transaction chunk definitely needs to have a shard. Is that going to be property of a config file? Probably should be at this point. Okay. Here. Yes. Is that the same place? Used variable shard. Yeah, no. Type annotations needed on try join. But that's fine. Just making sure I have get the little pieces cleaned up. Oh, okay, that, and we have Clippy setup. And Clippy is just angry today. Lots of Clippy issues. Okay, I think everything is good. Now, let's take a look at this here replicate. This function was simplified because when I ended up writing the tests first while working on the replicate side, not the mutate side, but the replicate side of data archive. So this has a bunch of tests associated, etc. We have possibility of mutating the database. We come through. Here's the number of pages changed. This is in our test context. So a test would basically say we need to test the replication to a client. We need to do a fan out. So change the database. And that's what's happening here. It just says make a change. And here we end up making that change, but I took one of the three responsibilities of this function away. So that has to basically become the second function as well. And what's happening here? We iterate over the page change. What is this? An archive transaction, database state key. Interesting. So we set the state ahead of the rest of it, which is fine for a test, not how we would do it for production. So I think we might take this database state. Where's database info? Are we also setting that? Read. Checking to see if there's a mutation. I'm looking at the pages. It says, okay. And wow, we don't change the rest of it. It's basically 6 keys that we need to change in the database. And when I say database, I mean the key value store. TIKV is what we're using. Um, in this case, in the tests, it's actually SLED that we're using. It's fast and local. TIKV is our production software that we'll be using. So it's set database page. That would have done 3, the bottom 3 being, let's close that for a moment. Where's README? Is this it? Yeah, let's bring this up over here. Okay. So previously we would have done this one, this one, and this one. But we're not doing this one anymore. And it looks like the existing test code is also setting the state. But it's not setting the info, which is interesting. I guess in this case, the test code presumes that the page size isn't changing. Arguably, that's fine. Right? That's fine. Now, I think what we should do, though, is do the tests in the same order that we would in production. Or, code should execute in the same way. State should happen last. These can happen first without committing the data to the known state of the database. When this gets committed, then all these pieces that were changed become known. Okay. So we have a set database page. Let's see context. Gonna move that over a little. And to replicate. No, I want mutate. Where's mutate? Close some things here. Are we replicating or what? Happy Friday, that onion. Not yet. Not yet. We're trying to replicate. We're the part of replication where we basically dug a tunnel through a mountain from both sides, and they have to meet. It's this one. 5 problems in that file. Whatever. We're gonna have transaction state, mutate, context. Morning, Sam. Happy Friday. Oh, your week was tough. Had the week off. It's been kind of a nice week off. It's been hard, really, really hard to detach from work. I've kind of struggled with that. I don't feel it's been as relaxing as I really wanted it to be. But sounds like you've had a rough week, though. Okay, so we'll mutate in here, do some changes, and then we want to do a commit database state, which would do these three. And we would want context, basically use the same code. That's our test code. And if there is no commit record, I think we're okay. Because, let's see. We got a stream of chunks. Now, if we get all through this and there's nothing, then yeah, no, this is good. We need to leave that. All right. I think I want commit database state to be implemented before fixing the context. Okay. So if we have an initial database state, basically need to do a compare and swap on this guy, on this key here. And the initial DB state will be used for that. However, we will do this change first. Oops. Database info. Yes, info. Okay. So we get the future for setting that. Can we do this one at the same time? We need the page size. This one has to be committed at about the same time as this one here. What else do we have page size? Ah, why isn't page size up here? Or associated with a checksum like this. I think this used to sit up here, but we thought, oh, you know what, page size isn't going to change all that often. Which, quite frankly, I agree. Right? How often do you change the page size of your SQLite databases? In the system we're setting up, we could even dictate page sizes. But would we treat trying to figure out what my past self was thinking about this? Perhaps page size is here because we were thinking if the page size changed, we would effectively delete and recreate it, right? However, I don't think that works because we would still have quite a history left. And this information needs to know what the page size is. Or does it? No, it doesn't because we just look at page one. Page one has the page size in it. So what is this page size even used for? Looks like I didn't really document that. So this would be on the read side of data archive. Let's look for database info. OpenVPN kind of sucks. Huh. Just ranting. Yeah. No, I don't remember the last time I tried OpenVPN. I think the last thing I tried was like was it Tunnelblick? I don't even think I have it on here. Database info key. Let's see. Where's this used? Tags. Okay. In that. Replicate. Getting the database info. Yeah, what is this used for? So we get the database info, we get the state and the info. Fetch them, and we return a database information response, which has the page size from that. Okay, I see. This is for fetching the current state of a database. Yeah. Is this, what is this impl reverb data archive? So this is part of our protobuf interface. Sorry, our gRPC. So really, this is just about the current state of the database. And it's not here because it doesn't change very often. Whereas this stuff here changes on, well, every transaction. So let's also say, well, that answers that question. If that is not changing very often, I think we're okay. Let's go back to mutate and look here. It's database info at checksum, which is this key, shard, checksum database name, checksum value. This guy here, database info key, this one. See, what I find frustrating about this is that I'm looking to change this on every transaction. So why not just put it in this one, to the current database state? They showed some slightly more information. And that's where my mind went before. Save just that much more. However, we don't currently have anything else that we want to store in here. And if it's changing all the time, hmm, yeah, I think we should do a little bike shedding and get rid of this instead of just treating it like this doesn't actually happen. Oh, database info. It was nice, man. Yeah, that reduces us to 5 keys that we care about. 1, 2, 3, 4 keys? Wait, where did one go? Oh, we only had 5, so it would be down to 4? Huh. Hmm. Wow. Database info. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Database info key. This was not correct. Okay. Mouse jumped. There. Database info key. Find that. Okay, that's gone. That's gonna break everything though. Um, Also means that does this file need to change? Database info, database information response. Check some. No, see, this is actually this info here. I think we're good there. Okay. However, let's close that for a bit and work on what we just broke. No, I don't. I don't need to see this. Okay. Try polling. Don't care, don't care, don't care. Yeah, I get that we're not providing type info for that. Shift F8? Let's get something more useful up. How about this? Okay. Does nothing actually use that? That's not possible. No, 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 no. It's just not possible. That's fine. No, fine. Initializer. I I don't believe that. Wow. Okay. Just wow. So that wasn't actually used, except for here. Well, not the context, but the replicate. Should have been here, right? Database information request, state and info key. Why is this? I deleted this. Um, I thought I deleted this. Apparently that's incorrect. Okay. Now we will delete harder or delete. There we go. Okay. And we have to get rid of database info key. Database info. This guy goes away. That's good. Keys. No, no, no. Stop. No errors in there. Fine. Okay. Let's see. We should have something now. Because I know I left one. There it is. Postcard Saturday. Okay. This is just a test. It's a test testing serialization. What is this? Ah, okay. We don't need this anymore. Oh, and our database state key also needs page size. Oh, come on, bring that back. So oh, I guess this is for the test. Come on back. Hmm. I'm playing with this editor a bit. Is it here? See it. Does some interesting things. Whatever. So we're setting the page size in database state. Good. Database info goes away. I wonder why the formatting's off. My tests are in on DBs that have 4K page sizes. See, that's not right. Basically, we lost a paren somewhere. Where? Okay, let's put a paren there. Go back up here, see about where we lost it. It's editor clobbered a paren. Database info key. What is this? to that one. And this one. Good. Gonna do it for me. Still trying to figure out cursor. Sometimes it's happy to help. Okay, here we got the tab. Huh, whatever. Page size. There it is. Test get database info missing info. Ah, I see. So we're removing the info key in order to cause an error, but that's not possible anymore. And this database info get, we get these two things. And then depending on the result of both, put this together. However, now there's only one. Quite frankly, we could just await this. Await that. We can match on status. So in this case, if we received a none here, yeah, okay, this case goes away. So the first one was if they were both none, right? If both of them didn't exist, database obviously not there. If one of them doesn't exist, there is an issue. Here, let's get rid of this. In this case, we have some. There we go. A bit simpler. Solves that. Great test DB state. Leaving these so we can come back to them. Little breadcrumbs. That's the Tokyo bits. This has to do with the same areas down below. The rest should just be warnings. Okay. Going back into replicate this here, that here. Right database state. Read me back up. Okay. Now, info's gone. Page size now exists over here. This is gone. We'll have to review that later. Back to our list. Here it is. 4 is simpler. That is nice. The reason that we have to wait to the very end is because we don't know how many pages the database has until this point. So this has to be committed. And then this one. So let's get the checksum, DB checksum info. Okay, we have the transaction ID and number of pages. Huh. It's DB page count. There we go. So this is the page count of the database at this checksum. This is the number of pages in the database currently. DB info key goes away. Try to set that. We could just await that. And that'll give us what? A result? Okay. Now, if this fails, what do we do? Ah, it's a deer in my yard. It's cold out. All right. Essentially, if we can't set this, we'll get some sort of error back. Right? Deserialization, serialization, storage. It's probably going to be in this camp here. Some sort of storage error. If it couldn't serialize, fine. Same thing. And it does mean we need to stop, bubble up our error. See, we are in mod, db mod. So I think it's the same error type. Okay, so now we do the compare and swap. So given this key, the value is going to be compared and then swapped if it's the same, which is why we have the initial db state here. Now, question for you though, we're using postcard serialization. What if the order changes? Will this fail? Or is postcard serialization consistent? Let's check. Format stability. Order. In their order of definition, okay. Top to bottom. Lovely. Okay, perfect. So that will be consistent. I like it. Database state, missing fields. Is deleted. Yep. That's definitely not deleted. Page count, page size, checksum. Okay. Now we don't want to do that. We want to do a compare and swap. Swap. Oh, that's right. We have to serialize it and do a bunch of other stuff as well. Why don't we do something else? I would prefer to have something that looks like self.cas. Then we pass the db state key. And we have the expected value and the new value. Something like that. We await that. Now the expected value is the initial state. Let's just rename that. this is on the storage trait. Interesting. Set get, set database page, commit database state. Okay. Databases, yeah, some utility pieces here. Okay. I want something that's a little bit more generic. We're doing a CAS something. That's correct. Value into DB value. Yes. Yes, this is also an option, isn't it? So we'll see. So what if you wanted to unset something? Where are there two? Okay, it looks like we do not support unsetting in a CAS. So let's remove the option off of value. Hey, Zenacron. Happy Friday. Okay, so what's happening here? Ah, transpose. Option vector view 8. Good. Borrow data escapes outside of method. Key escapes. Are we doing the same thing? Oh, we're referencing the key. That should not be borrowed. Key in this case, I think it's always passed in, isn't it? Here it's not. For set, it isn't either. Interesting. Huh. Show me the full error. What's bugging me about this is that it works for the other function, but not this function. What is different here? Set, we call put. Now, in this case, we are as ref you wait for the key. Does this need to be borrowed there? No. Same here, I bet. Okay. Nice little cleanups. Storage, compare and swap. As ref, you wait. Did I have lifetimes specified elsewhere? Range. There's get. There's put. No lifetimes. Send. There's a little bit more of a constraint here. It's send, sync, and static. Whereas here, it's just sync. And that needs to be send. Oh, fascinating. Okay. I wonder if we can relax this a bit. Yeah, that just broke our implementations. It's fine. Going back to our code, though. This is fine. Good. Future cannot be sent safely between threads. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's fine to own that. Back. Undo this. Okay, save that. Good. I'll take ownership. Okay. Now, k in this case is it's a vector of bytes. Is it Is it actually a vector? Is um database state key. It's just a slice. It's all on the stack. So this is copyable. How goes the codes? The aid of Alan. Pretty good. Pretty good. Making slow bits of progress, which is nice. Storage, okay. That looks like it'll work. Let's go down here. Hold on. I want expected value. Did I get the order right? Previous value? Okay. Let's call it the same thing. No value. No. There we go. This should arguably have more information in it. What else do we have? Ah, here. Let's pass that in. Just in this case, if this one fails, we need to undo this one. We should delete this one. Arsene, thank you for the follow. Pour some more water. You guys got any weekend plans? Guys, gals? y'all. Okay. Oh, you're gonna try to stream if you can get the brain in gear for it. Nice. The crab and cat always taking your attention away. Making an ode to The Shining. Interesting. Man, I love those books. Those are great books. The Shining takes place in the same universe that Gunslinger takes place. Basically, his whole, I think, like most of his books, Stephen King's books, kind of take place in the same universe. Um, and they're all like the backbone of that series is really the his cowboy books, the Gunslinger. I actually went through a number of his books before getting into the Gunslinger series, and once I got into the Gunslinger series, you see like his one about the assassination of Kennedy, like The Shining, the what is this, the vampires one. They're all the same world, just different places in the world. He got injured? Oh, I didn't know. I thought he was going to die before finishing the series. Isn't the Gunslinger? Oh, I guess that would have been a while back. Is this the one where he got hit on his bicycle? Because he turned that into a book. Like that was part of his book too, right? Because he wrote himself into his books. Yeah. So if this fails, it's cleaned up after itself, which is fine. However, we don't want to bail yet. If this fails, we want to delete all of the keys that were added in this up here. That's the only part of my commute that I actually miss is listening to audiobooks. Um, Now I have to like exercise and listen to audiobooks. Not quite the same. Not quite the same. Oh yeah, go ahead. I might get a kick out of it. That'd be cool to see. Set database page. Basically, I need to keep all of, like a list of these keys. I am curious. Let's see. Here. Let me bring it on screen. Here we go. I like this. This is cool. Fun little programming exercise too. I can imagine. I like it. It's nicely done. I'm a big Shining fan, so things you didn't know about me. Let's have this needs to be mutable. And if we need that information to be collected. Oh, wrong spot. I think. Wrong spot. Set database page, yes. Needs to be not there. Mutate. Yes, here. Okay, let's fix this real quick. What's going on with this? Type mismatch. Non-error. What? Why do we have two of the same thing? Chunk. Now it's an option. In this case, we might get a none for the first element. If we do get with context, this is How could this actually happen? We receive a request that has no chunks in it, but it's a stream of chunks. Feels like the first one should always exist. I'm gonna go with that. Expect first transaction chunk always exists. Yeah, we'll get to you. We'll get to you. Um, page checksum. Okay, and then in here, set database page. So we clean up if one of these fails. Maybe this is the wrong place for it, though. Because what if this is the nth one of these? We still have to clean up all the other ones. So why put this here instead of somewhere else? And then just do this in one place instead of over and over again. I don't like that they are so large, but it was to avoid an allocation. Turn the set? No. Because if there's an error, we need to know what they were. The error could include the information. I should probably include more detailed information. What does bulk delete, batch delete want? Vectors? We could call display on them, basically do some allocation. But why not do that in the first place and just kind of an over optimization of mine? Never. See, I was having some fun with this. basically just storing everything into data, right? So we could make data a vector instead. We just write into the vector. Until we receive the shard, end up writing the stuff into this thing that's backed by the stack. I don't really want to change all of this. Let's just make it extensible. Okay. Do you want to just collect those things into a vector? That would be simple for now, and I could change it again later if I really, really wanted to. These guys. No, we should just change the keys. Ooh. Unless there's something about this. That would have some sort of issues with it. As refuate, like this would be fine. Range keys, as refuate, okay. I think that's okay. It's gonna be these pieces, sensing and static are range bounds key. It's gonna have to be owned. Okay, that's fine. I think this will all work. Okay. Crying to my milk later. What is DB key? Hmm. Why wouldn't we just have a vector of DB keys? Oh, goodness. Have I been on mute this whole time? I apologize. Yuji, thank you for the follow. I've been on mute again. Well, function find well doesn't need to be really. Um, where are the errors? Here we go. Ah, yes. This is where we had been. So we have our keys here, and we're thinking about collecting these things such that when we do a set database page, we need this list of things updated, right? And if that fails, we have to delete them all. Some more hot water. It is cold in here today. Turn the heater off because, spring's here, and then it snowed. Weather came in so fast that Starlink didn't have a chance to warm up. All right, back at it. How are we going to give this a list so that we can store all of the successes and delete them all later if we need to? So we, regardless, need, in the event of either success or error, we need the list. Changed keys, something like that. Missing generic. Oh, that's right. No, it can't be that. And these are all unique types. Except they're kind of not. My DB key could strip them of all that extra goodness. As this does not have to be generic. Because at this point, we're basically just wrapping vectors of U8s. Ignoring the scan key. I don't think I need any of this. So if all it is a wrapper around this with some associated types somewhere else, I define where up above here, set up some associated types so that this key, is associated with that kind of value. Let's keep cutting. I like this association. This is what I want to keep. What a long kind of rabbit hole today, huh? Yeah, ignoring the database scan key. Still, I don't want to be bothered to change that yet. So it's just that. And then we do not need these two. That goes away. That goes away. Those go away. Database name and okay. Goes away. Which does make that go away. Let's go ahead and just keep cutting. There we go. So really it's a fancy way of creating, of writing into a vector. We're using a cursor to write into a pre-allocated vector. Fine. Okay. So by doing that, we keep the core of what we need. We're going to pass these things around. We do one allocation. We've got our one cell bits. That's all good. And where is DB key? Let's change this. And instead, when we have something that goes into a DB key, where is it? Oh, it's implemented on the other things. We will have the arc one cell vec UA. We'll do that. Not copy anymore. It's fine. Phonable, yes. And these type. Just go away. Okay. Shall equal display. Yeah. Cell dot zero dot. I don't want to call it asref. We want to call get on it. But we have to do it this way. One cell, get that, unwrap, that's right. Okay. Basically, same thing here for A and B. Self and other. Oh, interesting. Yes. B is other. A, B partial. Okay. Okay. Into DB key. Yeah, so if something impulls this, it's not land. What if returns one of those? Without the type info. And here we're implementing it on so many things. It's really self.data. Okay. Oh no, our test failed. Whatever shall we do? All right, let's see. Okay. I as let's see. To vec. No. To vector. Thank you. So we'll call to vector on that. All right, but it's the wrong type. We still need to have this initialized and everything. So maybe we create a little utility function to create these. So what's this? What does this look like? Arc new. One cell. New with. Sun. That? Did I get that right? It doesn't like it. Expected right paren, something like that. One more? One more. Okay. There we go. Your DB key. Hello world. Good. Test key. Yep. Different key. Test key. AABB. Okay. Test extended. ABC, ABC, DEF. Empty and non-empty. Okay. Zero, ABC. Got all those. Where to? Move value of key. Oh, you know what we can do now? Clone. Boom, done. Look at that. All that works. We could do a cheap clone. Okay. Same here. DB checksum key. Wait, where? Yeah, it doesn't implement copy. But where is it getting? Oh, here. Is it compare and swap? Yeah, there. Oh, and here. Goodness. What function are we in here? Find most recent page to transaction. Key from search key. Are we used? What's here and here needs to be cloned. There, here. And then here it needs to be copied, cloned rather. Because it's right there. It's like I moved into this. Here, let's remove that. We don't have an away. Await. I think we're okay there. Just use a reference in that case. Hmm, nice. Okay. Mutate context. Wow. Okay, so most of this we've solved. Okay. So we're down to just tracking these changes. Yeah, this is the test code. Test. So let's track the changes here and mutate. It will need this created keys. Created DB keys, sure. And pass that into here. Created DB key. So we have that one and this one. We do not escape from this. In this case, we try, and I think it's good to do these in parallel, right? Commit. That's fine. We want to have those keys go into, yes, there and there. Which does mean that cleanup happens elsewhere. I went to the wrong place. Oops. No. Here. I think I want this to be outside so that we can bubble up anything and clean up here. Yeah, let's do that. So then, if anything in here fails, right, we just keep track of all the keys. If anything fails, and outside, at this point, clean up. Huh. Oh, we're not doing it that way. Use self.db.raw storage.batch delete that. Now batch delete. Look at the actual implementation. If we get an error, there's an error. Sled, we attempt to delete as much as we can. Now, I don't really care as much about sled as I do TIKV. Here. Get all the keys. What are they doing here? Azref 2 vector. I still don't like these extra allocations that have to happen here. Yeah. See, the issue happens to be this key, right? If we look at what is it, docs, TIKV client key. Look at this key, right? And it's fairly opaque to us. So, all right, well, it should work. We can always optimize later. Okay. Well, that's not what I wanted. The map here is consuming it, whereas I just want to change a property of it. So in this case, it's an option to a something. Want to map the type. Just want to be able to get the checksum off of it if it is something. Or set it. Option. Hmm. Yeah, this also consumes self as dref. Say as rev. And then do that. So then this is a reference, which then works. Okay. Interesting. DB state. We do want a copy of that. Initial state is private. Private type. Oh, yes. Initial state. Right. Okay. Yes. And what do we do here? Um, if we end it without having a commit record, there is an error. Goodness. Error. No, this is missing commit record. There we go. Lovely. Oh, let's see. So now we have set database page, which sets the other two values from the README. That's good. There's two. Oh, we don't want to push both of these, do we? Oh, no, no, set database page. That one's fine. That one's fine. Just validating. This one only one, yes. No errors. Is that it? Just my tests? Okay. That's not bad. Maybe I'll spend some time cleaning up some of these clippy errors, clippy warnings. These are essentially the same thing. So we call set database page. Now, does this test care about cleaning up create database? It doesn't. Okay. But it does need to have a vector passed in. All right. But this is just wrong. So we have shard db name transaction ID. Shard db name. Checksum we don't need. Transaction ID goes up. Shard db name transaction ID. Page number, page data, page checksum. Page number, page data, page checksum. Page, okay, transaction, good. Really? Shard, good. DB name, that's the path. Transaction ID, got it. Page number. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. Total DB pages. Okay. What is this? Zero base page and page info, page info. We're enumerating. I see. We'll get to you. Total DB pages, don't worry. And then we say self.archive dot commit database state. Right. Then we have all this stuff. That must work. Oh, why are we bubbling that up? Starkiva, how are you? Happy Friday. Now, in this case, I don't have an initial state. We are creating a database, though. So let's say this is none. Should be none. DB checksum. chkdb. Checksum. Huh. Well, any, yeah, I kind of empathize with both sides here. I mean, if you we're tossing, low quality messages into a stream that's not allowed to have low quality messages, then I mean, that's the rules for the stream, right? Um, and streamers have no way of knowing. Basically, we're just talking. Yeah. Well, we get trolls all the time, so I mean, I think empathy goes both ways in this case. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you could be a troll, so we don't know. We just have no way of knowing. It's not. Yeah. It's not one way or the other. It's just we're here to do our thing, and if it's not working out, it's not working out. It's frustrating, I bet. Let's see. Check some DB. Check DB. Okay, so I have that. Why is that not working? Check DB, check some. Yeah. It kind of sounds like you need a shoulder to, an ear to listen. But yeah, topic of the channel is it's currently now Rust coding. So what do you got about Rust coding? Fill us in. Say total DB pages goes down here at DB page count, DB page size. Let's say that's 40. Yeah, two used. There we go. Now we just got this one. Yeah. It's like I don't really care. I'm not being rude. I'm actually working on something that's important to me, and quite frankly, I kind of agree that you know you're off topic. You're off topic. I want to be empathetic, right? Um, but let's see. Check TV. Why can't it find this? Is that check TV is right there? Should be available. Let's see. Check TV. Local. Oh, did I misspell that? See, if you pointed out that I misspelled that, that would have been very welcome. Actually, I think I had it misspelled before. Let's change that to CHKDB instead of CKHDB. I think it's just, a little bit about reading the room, all that. Commit that. We need to wait on this. And so commit all those pages. Wait. In this case, also, let's when in Rome, throwing the error out. Okay. We'll see if that works. See, and because of that, we can get rid of this state key commit here. Page count. Am I using the right one down here? Page count. See, I use total DB pages instead of, so that's going to be different. Page info, I don't like. Huh. What is this page count used for? We're setting the database state. Yeah, okay. Database state key. Key is gone. Page count is deleted. No, because if we're committing it, you're not deleted. What else? Checksum. Huh. We still need this to happen. This, I believe, is the checksum of the whole thing, which would be equivalent to this. Does it blend? Let's see. Oh, I have to do this in one more place. What's happening here? Mutate database. The other one was create database. Okay. Why are they not using the same thing? Solve dot commit database state. Now, this one's a little bit different in that can't use none here. Because we're looking to change the existing database, so we have to get that first. In this case, we're calling set instead of compare and swap. Arguably is okay for the test. However, I would like to use the new code we wrote so we get some test coverage. Okay, let's go through this again. Did you mean blah, 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 blah? Maybe. Shard. No, come back. Okay, shard. Database name. Transaction ID. Okay, total DB pages. So these two need to go. Shard, DB name, transaction ID, page number. It's fine. Page data. Yes. Page checksum. created DB keys. Okay, find that. There, we have a created DB keys. Now here, we need the checksum from up above. End DB checksum. Looks like it's that. Where are we doing the mutations? We have backup database. Oh, here it is. Update test DB up path. Refresh database checksum. So this is the correct checksum. Database page count. Database page count. Okay, just page count. Oh dear. CGCKSUM. We can get rid of this here. Database state key. And this set. Database page count and page info dot length. Weird. Okay. Of a blend. Well, thanks for hanging out, Zenochrome. Um, it just so happens I was thinking about spending only about 10 more minutes on this. My fingers are getting too cold in the office at the moment. Just noticed that I've started to lose finger feeling on the tip of one of my fingers. So it's about time to go in and have some hot cocoa. I think I would not found an internal. Okay. And let's try this again. One failed. Get database info missing state. Wow. Oh, I mean, that's great. That is amazing. Okay. Well, y'all, I'm gonna head in. Got some stuff to do. But great progress today. Great progress. Um, see, who are we going to raid today? All right, we're gonna raid Adam. Y'all have a great weekend. I'll probably see you maybe early tomorrow. I don't know. It depends. Depends. Really depends. So if I don't see you till Monday, have a great weekend. Take care. Bye bye.